Hey guys! In my last DIY video, I mentioned that I wasn't going to be able to do a normal DIY video because my studio is all packed up. I'm actually taking a break right now from moving to film this. My house is in various states of disarray and it's quite stressful. I freaking hate moving. I wish I could just like fast forward to being moved in. That would be great. I am excited though to decorate the house. I don't think I'm the best at decorating, but I'm planning on marathoning / rewatching mostly because I think I've seen all of them. Mr. Kate's OMG We Bought a House and the OMG We're Coming Over because I love her style and I find it very inspiring. So hopefully some of that will rub off on me and I can do something cool in the new house. So last week I asked you guys to leave questions on my video. So I have my laptop here and I'm going to go through right now and answer them. Okay, let's get started. LRK asks, have you tried printing your own designs on fabric? There's a way to do it with your printer. I love seeing some of your designs on bags, purses, pouches. I have not yet. It is something that I'm interested in. I think it would be really cool. There are a few like purses and pouches and stuff that I've been wanting to make where I would have to print out the design, but I just haven't yet. So hopefully eventually I will work up the courage to do it. But yeah, not yet. Hopefully soon. Emily Medina asks, what inspires you, and if you ever get creativity block, what do you do to push through that? I just get inspired by a lot of other creative people on Instagram and Twitter. I like to follow people that are really good at what they do, whether it be like what I mentioned earlier, Mr. Kate, she's really great at interior design and DIYing and stuff. And with art, I just follow people that I really admire their art and I find it to inspire me. But anyway, creativity block / artist block / whatever, I definitely get that. I used to be really bad at just like succumbing to it and not doing anything and just laying around and watching videos all day and whatever, but honestly, for me, making it into something that I need to do every week, like my DIY videos and my art videos, it's forcing me to make something, and yeah, I basically just force myself out of it. There have been times where it's not like immediately like just me forcing myself to do one thing and it's gone. It's like I have to force myself to get through making something or drawing something and then keep doing that and keep doing that, and then finally I'll be making something and I'll realize that I'm not like forcing myself, and I find that it's because my block has just kind of gone away. That's for me personally. I know some people will take that as a sign that they need to relax and stop pushing themselves, and so they'll take a little break, but yeah, me personally, that's how I do it. Helena W asks, what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? How long have you been DIYing crafting? And is there a specific craft or skill, like wood burning or glass blowing, that you would like to learn? Back in college, I had a blog where I like walked through my crafts and stuff, but then being in college, I kind of put that aside. It was more of a hobby back then. I put that aside and focused on my studies, and then graduated college, and then moved on with my life. We had recently moved states, like away from everything that we knew. We moved because my husband, he was my boyfriend at the time, he found a job here and I was like just graduating college, and he asked if I wanted to come and move with him. And I'm a military brat, so like I'm just used to like picking up and moving. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, like we'll try it out or whatever. Lo and behold, we've been here for like 6 years. But anyway, after we moved here, I did like freelance graphic work, but yeah, I think I was just kind of like aimlessly drifting, like trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself. and my husband suggested that I should start a YouTube channel because I really enjoyed my blog and YouTube was like the next thing to do. I kept telling him no. I kept telling him I didn't want to be on camera. I hate the sound of my voice. Yeah, I did not want to do it. And so eventually he convinced me to do it. I said, okay, I'm gonna film crafting, but I'm not going to show my face and I'm not going to talk. I'm just gonna have like the words or whatever showing my hands crafting. Lo and behold, the very first DIY video I put out was pretty much the same format that I do now, where I have an intro, where I talk about what I'm gonna make, and I show my face, and I talk. I'm so glad that he kept pushing me to do this. I think he knew that I would really enjoy it, and he was right. So yeah, that's how I started my YouTube channel. I've been DIY/crafting for as long as I can remember. I have really shitty memory, but like a few things that I remember are like going to visit my grandma and she taught me how to crochet, and we would crochet clothes for my Barbies, and then going to like the hospital waiting room or something like that. I forgot what exactly it was. It wasn't for me because I was fine. It was probably like my parents were picking something up, like prescription or whatever. But while we waited, there was a lady that was sewing a quilt, like hand sewing it. I guess she saw that I was like interested in what she was doing, so she let me come over and like help her. Yeah, I don't know, that's just something that's always stuck with me. So yeah, I've been DIY crafting for quite some time. And then is there any specific craft or skill? I would love to learn glass blowing, but it also kind of scares me because it's molten glass. But there are a few glass blowing studios here in town that I would love to take a class in. Emily Arroyo asks, what's your favorite art medium and why? I think it's fairly easy to see that digital is one that's like big for me. I love working digitally. I've been doing it since I was probably like 12 or 13. I started drawing with my mouse and I would draw these shitty little things, and then my parents, when I was 14 I think, they bought me a tablet, which is like the drawing tablet for your computer. So yeah, I've been doing that for a long time. I love it. But other than that, like, I still do love traditional media as well, and probably my favorite would be, see, that's a hard one because it's like, my favorite that I can do easily in my own studio would be oil painting. I can't wait till we're done moving into the new house and I can set up a room for painting and actually be able to close it off. Our house right now, you can't do that. But I do have like a special place in my heart for various printmaking techniques. I was a studio art major and I had my concentration in printmaking, so there's always going to be like that special place. I loved doing intaglio. That's where like you draw out your drawing on like a metal plate and then you etch it in acid and then you like rub the ink on and print it like that. And I loved lithography, where you would draw on a gigantic stone and then use weaker acid to etch into the stone and do all this stuff, and I miss it. I don't miss dropping those stones on my hands though, because that freaking hurt. Thankfully I only did it once, and even though I thought I broke my finger, I did not. But anyway, I need to find a printmaking studio because I think that'd be really fun to get back into it. Oh, that was a great tie-in. I didn't even look at this next question. But the next question from Clarice Mueller-Johnson, they say, I know you have a background in printmaking. I went to college for printmaking as well, and I miss it so much. Me too. I was wondering if you have any particular at-home printing methods you enjoy. Would also be a good DIY video topic. Yes, that is true. I do not have any at-home printmaking methods that I enjoy. I mean, I just talked about it in the last question. I know that like screen printing at home is pretty easy, but I actually have only dabbled in it a little bit. I've been considering getting into it more, but I really would have to teach myself how to do it because I've never done it before. I might get back into like etching with like plastic. You could buy like sheets of plastic and then just use like a needle tool and draw into it, and it's a similar printing technique to intaglio except minus the acid. But yeah, it's just hard because like a lot of those things you need like those big presses, and I've been on the lookout every few months I go and I check and search for like letter presses or tabletop like printing presses because I would really love to get back into that kind of stuff. But sadly, I don't right now. Okay, next question from Anna's Crafty Corner. Where do you live? And then, do you plan on opening an online shop to sell your creations? I live in New Orleans. I do actually have a shop. I don't sell my DIY stuff, but I sell my artwork. It's store.chezlin.com. Right now, if you order, it'll probably be a little delayed because I print to order and my house is currently all in boxes, or mostly in boxes. So yeah, if you want an art print, or I also sell my originals, you can go check that out. There'll be a link down below if you want to. This isn't a question, but I feel like I need to reply. Cheryl Malone, she said, I love your videos, but with my volume all the way up, I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. I've been dealing with audio issues for the last few videos. My normal audio recorder broke and I can't charge it. It's just like the little charger cord thing. So I think that it's fixable. I just haven't had time to like really like take it apart and look at it yet. So I've been recording with my phone and it's just been a pain in the butt. It's also really annoying because I edit in Premiere and when I watch back the footage, it seems fine. It seems loud enough. And then when it gets onto YouTube, it's really quiet. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's something that I'm going to keep working on. So I apologize, I'm sorry. Okay, next question. Wolfa, was anyone else in your family creative and artsy like you? Yes. My older sister is a writer, and my younger sister is very talented musically and artistically. I think she is also a good artist. I feel like my mom is also a good artist, but it's not something that she like pursued. I just remember seeing like her doodles while she's on the phone. Like she would just like doodle things, and I always liked her doodles. So, yep. I always say it would be cool if like my older sister writes some kind of story and I can illustrate it and my little sister can like compose the music and we make like a little webcomic or something, but we're all busy with our own lives, so I don't know if that would ever happen, but it would be really cool. Mahu Melon? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. What is something you've always wanted to make but just keep putting it off for whatever reason? Ooh. That's a good question, and I feel like I had an answer to that, and I can't think of it. There are a lot of things that I've been wanting to make for a while, but I keep putting it off. This is more of a recent one, but I've really wanted to make a dog costume for Hobbs, a Cerberus dog costume. I think that would be really cute and potentially not too difficult. I feel like you just need to attach two like stuffed dog heads onto like a collar or a harness, and then that's it. My thought was that I would find or purchase like a stuffed dog that is the right size and the right color to match him, and then buy two of them, and he knows I'm talking about him. Buy two of them and then use those. But Hobbs is a pretty big dog, so any stuffed animal that is that size is quite expensive, and also he's brindle colored, which is really hard to find in a stuffed animal. That's one that I've been trying to figure out how to do. Been on the lookout for stuffed animals at the thrift store, hoping that I can find one, maybe one that's like tan, and then I can paint in the brindle coloring. But yeah, so that's one. There's a lot, but that's one example. Joanna C says, I assume you've had a fair share of failed DIYs. How do you still have the motivation to keep making after those crashes? Yes, I have had my fair share of failed DIYs. Sometimes I show them when I'm making stuff. I'll show my mistakes and stuff. I try to always keep that stuff in just because I feel like it's important for people to see. A lot of times when you see someone make something and then walk through the steps and then like they're done and it's like perfect and beautiful, that's probably like the fourth or fifth time they're making it. And like, that's no shade on people that want to do their videos like that. There's definitely a place for people doing videos like that, but I do like being able to show people that like it happens to everyone, like messing up. And I also think it's nice to show how you can recover from it. I've had a few DIYs where I just haven't posted them because it just didn't work. Like, the reason I'm doing this Q&A is because a DIY that I wanted to make was a failure. Actually, okay, it wasn't that big of a failure. It was a failure for the purpose that I was trying to make it for, if that makes sense. I was trying to make DIY puffy paint. I still might do it because it did work. It just worked, like I said, not like how I intended. So yeah, I've had a few failures, but I think motivation for me is that I'm extremely stubborn when it comes to that kind of stuff. If I get in my head that I want to make something, I will freaking keep going until I make it. That's just my personality, I guess. Like, I just get really focused and driven to like do whatever craft I want to do. So, Emotional Cactus asks, how old are you? A lot of people think that I'm like high school aged or whatever, which I think is pretty crazy. I feel like I definitely don't look high school aged, but whatever. People also are surprised when I mention that I have a husband, but yeah, I am 30 years old. Okay, Dynamite Rabbit asks, is YouTube your full-time job? If so, do you have any tips for people who want to do it? Also, what are your favorite storage tips? I have lots of craft supplies and makeup, and not a great way to store everything. Okay, I'll get into the storage thing in a sec. Currently, YouTube is my full-time job. I am extremely lucky that my husband has decided to fully support me in this and take on the burden of like being the sole breadwinner at this moment. I'm at the point now where I'm able to like support my own channel. Tips for people who want to do it: consistency and having a schedule. When I first started this, my schedule was I was posting once a week every Thursday. I didn't have a certain time, but I did try to post at a specific time. I guess I didn't advertise the time, but yeah, I would try to post around like noon-ish. And I still kind of do that because people will sort of get a feel for when your videos go online and they'll search for them. I have a bad habit of not subscribing to a lot of people, but people that I do watch every day, I'll go and search for their videos. So like, I know about when they should be posting and I'll start looking to see if their videos are up yet. I know I should just subscribe to them, but I don't know, I'm kind of weird. It takes a long time of me watching people's videos until I subscribe. So yeah, consistency and schedule is very important. I feel like that's more important than production value. I mean, obviously you want the production value to be good, but that's always something that you can continue to improve on. I feel like that's how I went at it, even though I've kind of had a little hiccup with my audio in the last few videos, but yeah, I'm always trying to just up my production value, but I still post every week, every Thursday. Every once in a while it's Friday if I have something that happens and I can't put a video up on Thursday. And then also I've added my art videos, which are on Tuesday, so twice a week for me now. But yeah, that's the big thing. Okay, and then favorite storage tips. I am definitely really bad at organization and storage. So in the place that we live now, it's like there literally is no storage. For us, our place is really tall, so I definitely looked into shelves and other storage solutions that were very tall. I'm short, so it's like hard for me to do that kind of stuff, but I got a nice stool that is tall enough for me to reach that stuff. My friend calls it her independence ladder, which I really like, so she's also short. But yeah, I'm probably not the best person to talk about storage solutions. I'm hoping that I get better at it, especially at our new house. But yeah. Zoe asks, how did you learn to paint so well? And were you self-taught or did you learn from school? So, as I mentioned earlier, I am a studio art major, so I did take some classes in like life drawing and like oil painting and whatnot. So I did take a few oil painting classes. I was dabbling in that kind of stuff before I took those classes. Digital art, I pretty much taught myself. I used to frequent like khaki boards and stuff like that. Like they were like message boards where you can draw and then post your drawing. That's like where I got my first start with digital. And then I got Photoshop and kind of taught myself how to use that. I like to watch a lot of their process videos because even if they don't talk, I feel like you can still learn a lot if you just like watch what they do. But oil painting, like I mentioned, I took classes. I got a lot of practice there. I mean, I took other classes where we would use like different paint mediums like that, like acrylic, gouache, and watercolor. But it wasn't like, these are techniques on how to use these paints. It was just like, draw this and you can use whatever medium you want, and then we would just do whatever we wanted. Most of it, I feel like, is just like, I got practice because we were using these mediums. I guess it's a little bit of both self-taught and from school. But I feel like there are so many resources now online that you can find so much, like, you can learn so much about how to paint and stuff just from online. So yeah, I think that's all the questions. Oh, hobby. Oh, don't go to my puppy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that I answered your questions. Hobbs, hopefully you didn't hear that breathing. Hobbs was just smelling the phone recording. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. I do art videos every Tuesday and DIY videos every Thursday normally. And yeah, if you like this video, then please leave a like. If you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. Ooh, Hobbs. Hopefully next week I will have my studio at least a little bit unpacked so I can do a DIY. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!